Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to preface this art journal page creation by saying I've got no idea what I'm doing. So what I've got is these two sheets. I've got one faux ledger. I'll explain why that's cut in a minute. I've got one faux ledger sheet that I created as part of the anatomist's cabinet, but it never made it into the final cut because it just wasn't the right kind of colours. So I've still got this one as a sparesy, and I've also got this sheet of ephemera, or snippets and ephemera bits. I'm going to make both of these two available on the website as a digi-download. This sheet will be a complete A4 sheet, which you can bring into your image manipulation software and make whatever size you want to fit. I have specifically sized this to fit a page in this altered book. So this is my altered book journal that I've done loads and loads of pages in. I've specifically made this page fit the pages within this book so that it will sit nicely on there, but it will be this size, this full size, with a little bit of a border all the way around. So that you can resize it to fit whatever size you want. And I started to kind of like cut the page out, and I thought, do you know what? I'm kind of like not showing you the full process. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just start the camera rolling and have a chat while I'm cutting this page out. Just like this, and I'm kind of following, and I'm going a bit raggy towards the edges, and I'm cutting around just to kind of make it look a little bit older and a bit more aged. I didn't want to tear it with the Deakin edge paper tearers, and I'm not going to scruff the edges with the blade of my scissors or page scruffers, because I can just get a quick an easy kind of decal edge just by waggling the scissors as I'm cutting it. And seeing as I'm a bloke, I'm quite good at waggling things. Don't spit your tea out. That's not what I meant. Or is it? Anyway, so there we go. So like I said, I've specifically sized that piece so that it will fit on the page with a little bit of a border all the way around it. That's going to be my backdrop. It's going to be my base sheet for what I want to create. So I'm just going to go around just hiding those raw white edges with a little bit of distress ink. Thank you, Sandy, for sending me this one. Actually, she didn't send it, she actually gave it to me in person at the Mixed Media Mayhem last month, because she's a love. There we go. Just to kind of give it that kind of vintagey kind of feel to it. See, it looks really, really good like that. You could theoretically just leave the page as it is and walk away, but I'm not going to. So flip it over, put some glue down. As per usual, I'm using the Tombow Mono Aqua, which is the clear spirit glue, because we just love that wiggle room. Other brands are available, like Yoo-Hoo, which is a really, really good one as well. That's a really good spirit glue, which is clear and allows you to wiggle. I have used both in the past, and I have enjoyed them both equally. The only reason I have this is because my local store didn't have any of the Yoo-Hoo in, so I had to make do, as you do. There we go. All right, so now we've got a backdrop. Now I've got two choices here. I can either leave this as it is and start building what I want to create on this page, or I could go over this with a bit of gesso if I wanted to, add a bit of white gesso, and then maybe just wipe a little back. But that's not kind of the look that I'm going for. I'm going for a bit more of a kind of curated page, sort of. Now normally when I create an art journal page, I create clusters. You create clusters with things. Clusters. You know, clusters. 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 I'm not going to with this one. Clusters. See what I mean? Clusters. I'm not going to with this one. I'm going to lay this out in more of a grid pattern. Something completely different. As more of kind of like you've just opened a drawer in an old cabinet and to find that somebody has carefully and meticulously laid items out in the drawer like a specimen cabinet. That's the kind of thought process behind this. So that's kind of what I want to try and do today with this. And I'm not being very careful with the cutting because it doesn't matter if it's a little bit wobbly. I'm going to cut out certain elements of this. I'm not going to use everything on the sheet. We've got little photo cards, little cabinet cards, little labels, we've got some stamps, we've got a butterfly, we've got some numbers. I'm going to use a selection of these. So what I'm going to do, so that I don't bore the pants off you all, is I'm going to go away and I'm going to sit and cut most of these items out so that I've got a little pile on my desk that I can draw from as I'm creating and laying, so I can audition and work out what piece best fits where. And because, you know, nobody wants to sit and watch me distress 25 items, I'll also distress the edges before coming back. Now what I will do just for the time being is I will go on to fast forward, and then you can see me cutting out really fast a few of the items, and then I'll start the camera rolling again when I'm distressing, just so you can see what I'm doing with the distressing, just to, you know, just to show. And then I'll join you when I've done everything. All right, so avanti mi hearties, as they say. Oh, and I'll also be drinking a little bit of coffee as well, which is just there in the top right hand corner of the screen, which I've just made. It's very fresh. It's still a bit too hot, but hey, you know, it is what it is. All right, so I've cut out probably most of it. There's still these ones left. There's still not all those who wander are lost. There's still the important handled with care, to be kept safe, found, to come upon unexpectedly, blah, blah, blah. There's all those kind of like little dictionary definitions there. So there's still quite a few that I haven't touched yet. There's a lot of mess here. I haven't distressed anything just yet, because I just wanted to show you what I want to do with those two tags that I've got the holes in there. So I've got my crocodile, which is blocked, which means somebody's used it and not cleaned it afterwards. Probably me. So let me just pop that under there. It's quite a big one, that one. Let's just try the smaller one first. That might actually be the better fit. Yes. So that there, and then this one, I've just dropped a piece on the floor. Can't see where I'm going. There we go. Just poke out that little bit first. Line it up. Near enough ski. Near enough ski. I'm not going to put, or shall I? See, this is what I mean about changing your mind halfway through doing stuff. No, they're too big, actually. I should have used the bigger hole. No, right. also just dropped something on the floor, which was that purple stamp, which I'm going to put over here. Just including those stamps just for a little bit of a pop of colour. And they're the only things I'm going to cluster. Everything else I'm going to lay out in this kind of grid pattern. All right, so next thing to do, distressing, and let's work our way around doing all the bits for the page. Back onto fast forward. Oh, before I forget. Oh, that's better. Right, now you can go. All right, I think that's all of the pieces done. You can go as heavy as you want with that distressing. I know I've seen some people in the past who have gone really, really heavy with the distress, and it does have its place with what you want to, you know, the look that you want to go for. I don't particularly like it too heavy, but, you know, I don't like a lot of things, like the colour purple, but I'm still using it. So there we go. So I haven't named these sheets yet, so I think I am going to name them the Curious Things Collector, because I kind of like that. So like I said, these two sheets are available on the website if you want to pop over and buy them as a digi-download, print them off, and you can come back and put me on pause and then catch up and cut everything out and do, you know, and craft and create along with me. So next thing to do then is let's just grab a little bit of embroidery floss, which I've got somewhere. I bought a load of embroidery floss in time for Halloween, thinking I'm going to need it for something, and sure enough, I like that colour. That's rather lovely. That's kind of like a rust colour. I think we'll have some of that. Right, let me just go grab my scissors again, because I'll put them down somewhere. All right, I've just had to swap phones over because my other one went flat. Could have sworn it had more charge in it than that. Right, so I've added in just a little bit of that embroidery floss on one of them already, and I'll just save the other one so that I could show you on camera. So I'm taking the looped end and I'm passing that from back to front, and then I'm opening that up, popping it through my fingers, and then not tying it really, really tight, and then just trimming off a little bit of that excess, just so it's there. Now you could, if you wanted to, knot it first just to stop it from coming undone again, but you know. All right, so now I've got the fun job of gluing it all down. Okay, and this is the bit where you've got to try and keep everything in that original kind of, not quite grid pattern, like so, because it doesn't matter if it's not exact, because it does, you do want it to look as though somebody, you know, 100 years ago has sat down and either placed these on the sheet or sat on a rainy, smoggy day in their parlour, adding them to the sheet. Just twist that a little bit. Yeah, it just makes it a bit more straight. You could add foam pads underneath these if you wanted a little bit of dimension. I do have some somewhere, but I've just recently tidied up. And you guessed it, I can't find anything. And I also added just a touch of glue just on that top knot of that embroidery floss. There we go. A little bit of glue. Let me just adjust the gaps in between just as we're going. Now then, let's glue this one down first. So, who's emailing me on a Saturday? It'll be some Nigerian prince, no doubt, telling me I've won a share of millions. And all I have to do is just send them over my bank account details. Because it happens more often than you realise. Alright, so I've just squidged a little bit of that glue and I've just rubbed it with my finger. Just because it just comes off. This is the other thing with these bottles of glue, is that they do, if you do manage to get it squidged anywhere, just rub it with your finger, it just balls up and it just rubs off. I sometimes forget that you can do that. But like I said, you could add something dimensional, a bit of cardboard, a bit of corrugated card or something like that. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So how has your Saturday been so far? Hope it's been a good one. The rain's held off today. So it's been quite nice. Ian and I have been out grocery shopping, which is, you know, the height of excitement when you get to a certain age. The dogs needed food. Bentley had a bit of an incident last night. We had to take him to the vet. We thought he'd cut his mouth on something. He hadn't, but there was blood everywhere. Sorry if you get triggered by this, but yeah, there was blood everywhere. But as it turns out, he's got a thing on his tooth. Not like an abscess, but anyway, he must have scratched or cut the gum above his tooth, and it just bled like billy-o everywhere. Luckily, he was laying on the spare bed that's got an older duvet cover, comforter cover on it. I'm hoping it's going to come out, but if it doesn't, it's no great shakes. Yeah, we had to take him to the emergency vet just to make sure it wasn't anything, you know, like something stupid like a bit of metal in a biscuit, or, you know, like sometimes you hear these horror stories of that kind of thing happening, don't you? but no, it wasn't. It's his tooth. So I haven't glued the wings down. I'm going to leave those so that they can become three-dimensional if necessary. Specimen number 39B, 12th of June 27. I'm presuming that means 1927, since we haven't had a 2027 yet. But who knows? You may be watching this in the far future. If you are, hello from 2026. You might be watching this in 2035 or something like that. Nice to think the videos last that long and are still there after all that time, and people are still learning and getting inspired. Yes, love it. Right, let me just give that a minute or two to dry and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that's had a few minutes to grab. So just to give you a bit of an update, it wasn't a Nigerian prince offering me millions. It was somebody saying I'd won 5 million euros on the European lottery. There you go. And also somebody else saying that my Revolut account has been compromised, which is, you know, rather strange considering I don't have one. There we go. So 5 million euros. Lovely. All I have to do is to verify my bank details. All right, so just to add a little bit of interest, just to add a little bit of splattering. Just because. And I'm going really gentle with it. Try not to get any on Emily's face there. That's what I've named her. She's called Emily. All right, I think that will do for that. So I'll just quickly get the heat gun on that, and I shall join you again in a second once I've tidied this up. All right, so those splatters are now dry, and I think this is possibly the tidiest art journal page I have ever created in the decade that I've been creating art journal pages. In my time, I must have done thousands of art journal pages, and this has to be the tidiest. So one of the questions I wanted to ask that person who's watching us from 21, 27 or whatever it is, do we have flying cars yet? I do hope so. So let me just put my little cipher just down here at the bottom, and then put today's date, which is Saturday the 22nd of the 8th, 26. Just so happens that 26 is also on there. So there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this art journal page today. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I will see you all again very, very soon. And don't forget, those pages are available as a digi download on the website right now. So bye for now.